Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video I'm going to talk about the quest from the 7 Basic Plots, Why We Tell Stories by Christopher Booker. The quest plot centres around a hero or group of heroes as they set their sights on achieving a specific goal. During their journey they face challenges, overcome obstacles and grow in character. Also, it's worth mentioning that these challenging journeys do not necessarily have to be physical. They can be psychological and the reward can be material or spiritual. This structure is pretty ubiquitous and is in plenty of myths, novels, films and even TTRPGs, which is what makes it the perfect scaffold when writing a Dungeons & Dragons game. By understanding the mechanics, the quest plot, game masters or dungeon masters can create immersive stories that draw players into the game, which is what we all want. Right, so let's break down the 5 stages of the quest plot. The call. Our heroes' lives are dull or intolerable, and they are waiting for some sort of change to happen. To prompt that change, they are given a supernatural or visionary direction that pushes them towards a distant, life-renewing goal. The journey. This puts everything in motion. They may begin to set out across a rough and dangerous terrain, and later encounter life-threatening ordeals or trials. It's also important to mention here that the journey stage takes up the lion's share of the story, so you need to focus your time and energy on it. As I've mentioned before, trials can be environmental, such as difficult terrain, but they can also include monsters, temptation, a trip to the underworld for some help, or some form of deadly opposite. A deadly opposite occurs when our heroes are sandwiched between 2 dangers. At this stage, it's also pivotal to introduce companions, or NPCs, to assist our heroes in achieving their goals. Usually these companions have something our heroes lack. For example, if the heroes are impulsive, the companions will have patience. Another type of NPC to include is a helper. These characters appear along the way and offer something useful. An example of a helper could be a wizened sorcerer who dispenses knowledge or wisdom only to disappear and move on. Arrival and frustration. Our heroes are within touching distance of their goal, but some obstacles stand in their way. They need to overcome these to secure the goal. The final ordeals. These often appear as a series of tests, usually in 3s. However, our heroes should be the only ones capable of completing a 3rd and final trial, proving them worthy of the prize at the end. At the end of the ordeal, they make a daring and dangerous escape. The goal. The goal is achieved. Hooray! Common goal achievements include things like destroying a cursed object and retrieving some sort of life-transforming treasure, or even something else entirely that demonstrates how much they've grown. Good examples of the quest plot are The Lord of the Rings, The Odyssey, and any Indiana Jones films, King Arthur, and The Adventures of Robin Hood. But how exactly do we apply the quest plot to TTRPG writing? Fortunately, I've got some helpful examples. But before I get to those, if you've enjoyed this video so far, give it a like or subscribe to the channel, as it's a great way to support it. Writing a compelling call to adventure. When writing an inciting incident, I often refer to my mantra: if in doubt, make it big and theatrical. Remember that our heroes are turning their lives upside down to go on this journey, so make it worthwhile. When writing a compelling call to adventure, think about why anyone would answer it. What's the hook? Usually there are 3 big motivators, or character hooks: money, discovery, and righting a wrong. In my opinion, they tend to crop up the most in different forms. What character hooks could your players use for the following adventure calls? A kingdom is about to be overthrown. The heir or princess needs a long-lost staff to boost their power and stop the tyrants from taking over. A mysterious patron hires our heroes to retrieve a stolen and also priceless painting. Some say this work of art is enchanted, others whisper of a curse. An ancient prophecy is discovered on an old parchment. It says our heroes are destined to prevent a planet-killing cataclysm. A friend has been kidnapped and our heroes must travel to dangerous territory to rescue them. Planning the journey. This is where character growth, NPCs and world building take centre stage. Don't forget, this is where your players will spend the bulk of the adventure, so invest your time and writing energy in this stage. Geography. Take a setting and go full in. Is it urban or rural? Will you create harsh deserts or flooded cities? How about a bleak mountain village? Or a lush enchanted forest? Think about your language and word choice when describing these environments. The more accurate your descriptions are, the richer your world will be. Who or what is standing in the way of our heroes' goals? Is it malevolent spirits or a harsh environment? Or is it a force for evil or something more psychological, a fatal flaw perhaps? Also, what will your deadly opposites be? Write compelling companions. Were the companions rival adventurers who made good on their word and are now part of the team? Similar to an enemies to friends trope. Or Are these companions just that? Lifelong friends who all met in a magic academy, for example. Choose helpers wisely. A wise sage, a witty witch, or an elder healer. All helpers must have some link to the overarching story and shouldn't be shoehorned in. If you're introducing a wise sage, why did the group encounter them at that very moment? What places a sage there? Yes, they could have all mysteriously crossed paths, but I don't think that's very satisfying. We need to drop a few breadcrumbs before the helper appears. Designing frustrating ordeals and tests. It's all about the journey, not the end goal. Well, sort of. The trials prompt character transformation. Without them, there is nothing. No conflict, no story. Their experience in these moments drives development and will shape who they become. But how do you come up with ideas for trials? Here are a few to get you started. Sacrifice. Do our heroes need to give something up to progress their journey? This could be something material or spiritual. Do they need to leave behind what they know to move forward? Harsh environments. Has a cataclysmic event reduced access to resources? Does it get worse? Are bandits stealing whatever food and water people have left? Despair. How do our heroes cope with everything falling apart around them? How do they respond to despair? This is where we lay the foundation for growth. Crafting the final ordeals, tests, and reward. The final ordeal should be a sum of all past events. What I mean by this is everything needs to lead up to it, whether it's an epic battle against a god-level character or the tearing down of a long-held conspiracy. This is the adventure finale, so make it big and make it theatrical. Write a truly evil villain. Are they a powerful sorcerer, a mad king, or a demon lord of chaos? Think about their traits, how they would behave. Did they come from nothing, or were they born into a life of privilege? Build up to them using lore drip-fed by NPCs. Don't make it too easy. What I mean by this is create near impossible outcomes for the heroes. I touched upon this when I talked about using sacrifices in trials or tests. There should always be some sort of cost to their decision during a trial. You can make that cost as low or high as you like, depending on the situation. Create fulfilling rewards. Don't forget, rewards can be material and spiritual. Yes, they may get a reward for stopping a planet-killing event, but really the true reward is how they've grown and developed, and what this newfound wisdom means for their future. Keep in mind that the rewards should reflect the journey, be it material wealth or spiritual enlightenment. If the journey was about self-discovery, for example, there could even be a fundamental positive change in the world, such as what happens after preventing a cataclysmic event. So, what do you think of the quest plot, and how would you use it when writing your next adventure? I have other videos that outline and explain the practical applications of other plots, such as Overcoming the Monster and Rags to Riches. If you found this video useful, please do like and subscribe, as it helps other people just like you find my content. Anyway, that's all for today, folks, and I'll see you in the next one.